Welcome back to Know Your Rights, Know the Law with Attorney Gerald Griggs. And there are three things that we need to think about in the wake of the Ferguson shooting. And that's one, we have to come up with a proper response. And the response is not violence. So first and foremost, violence never solves anything but produces more violence. Number two, we must go out and vote and put economic sanctions on the communities that condone violence against young African American males in any form or any fashion. And number three, you must know the proper steps when coming into contact with law enforcement and how to report inappropriate actions and inappropriate tactics that are going on over and over in your community. We must understand how to properly respond, how to properly enforce our rights. Young people, I hate to tell you this, but there is a segment of society that does not value your lives. But we must value our lives, we must value our rights. So the appropriate steps to take is not violence in the street. It is protest. It's both economic, legal protest, and of course voting, so that we can change the society. As Dr. King once so eloquently said, violence begets nothing but violence, but love towards your oppressor and non-violence are the key. So we need to remember those things in 2014. Otherwise, we will be doomed to repeat the errors of the past. Young people, you have to know your rights and know the law. Use your cell phone cameras when you come into contact with a law enforcement officer who is being disrespectful to you. Do not return the disrespect, but learn to rise above it and report it. We must stop these senseless killings. We must stop the violence. We must teach the younger generation that there are ways to fight back, and that's in a courtroom, that's in a court of law. It is my hope that in the wake of this Michael Brown tragedy and the shooting that was in Ferguson, we will have a swift trial, and there will be some resolution to whether or not appropriate things happen. But we must remember that knowing our rights protects our rights. We have to protect our rights. So, ladies and gentlemen, young boys and girls, I want you to understand that violence in the street is inappropriate. The proper venue is a court of law or a voting booth. Use both. Participate in the jury pools and participate in voting, and we can change this and we can stop the violence against these young African American males. But if you're not doing that and you're rioting in the streets, you're being more of a problem than the solution. Please be a part of the solution. Know your rights, know the law. Thank you. Again, I'm Attorney Gerald Griggs.